Great moments are born from great opportunity.
And with that, I welcome you to What Lights Your Fire. Now, this is okay, relax. If you heard the last episode, I'm just going to tell you to relax right now. It's been a little bit more than a week, okay? And that's all right. It's probably been like 2 weeks, give or take. And you know what? That's just how life is. I got a busy day. I can't always set aside time to come give you a little bit of information. But hey, guess what? You could just re listen to what I said the last 3 times. But now this is episode 4, What Lights Your Fire. Um, and if you're new here, I'm just giving you a little bit of piece of motivation. I try and do every week. Obviously, that hasn't worked out great, but I'm gonna keep trying, keep striving. But I give you a little bit, break down a little bit of piece of motivation that's helped me in my life, and um, hopefully can translate into your life and whatever role you lead and whatever it is you do can keep you going and light your fire continuously. So this week, as I introduced, it is if you don't recognize that off the off the bat, I'm just gonna tell you right now, you need to get your life in order and you need to go watch Miracle, which is a movie. Obviously it's a dramatic retelling of the 1980 U.S. Olympic team who won the gold medal in against the Soviets, and it was a great story. Let's just say they were not expected to win, and Kurt Russell was the one talking in this clip. He's the head coach. He's the head coach of the Miracle on Ice team, and yeah, no. So if you haven't seen that movie, I'd say listen to this first. Finish this podcast, okay, and then go watch one of the greatest sports movies of all time, which is Miracle. And so Kurt Russell's talking here to his team right before before the gold medal game against the Soviets. Now, if you know nothing about history at all, 1980, the United States and the Soviet Union did not have a great relationship. They weren't best friends. And so we were playing, obviously you think of hockey, it's a game, right? But this is more than a game. And so we had a bunch of amateurs, we had a bunch of college players, but this is before pros really played in the Olympics a lot. So, we have a bunch of 19, 18, 20-year-old kids playing against the Soviet Union's team who they weren't necessarily saying they were older, but they were definitely a little bit older. Um, and they were expected to win because they're much better at the game. They play all the time. They're these sort of professional. They're a lot more professional than our team was at least. And so they were pretty much the expected winners in this whole thing. And honestly, I haven't watched the movie in a long time, and I'll probably go rewatch it after this. But he's breaking down. These guys are nervous, right? They're about to go play the game of their lives for their country, for the gold medal. They're all sitting in this locker room, ready to go. Kind of like antsy. Ready for the game to start, but also like nervous, like I said. And he saunters in. And he starts with what I played earlier. Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's not what I want to focus on, but that's just the intro of this speech, and it gets you right off the bat because you're like, oh, what? Great moments? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? And so let Kurt talk. All right, let Kurt talk. Eventually, he gets to the part where I'm gonna break down this week what it means to me and how it can help you a little bit if you can view it from my point of view. He eventually gets to the end of his speech and he says he he said I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Soviets and how they're gonna win. We can play them 10 times and they can win 9, but not tonight. And so he's talking about this whole thing, tonight's our night. And but the part that gets me is always every single time he says, "Tonight is our night," and he repeats himself a couple times, and then he leaves, and they're all like, "Hell yeah, let's go win!" And obviously fires him up. But he says, "Tonight is our night." So whatever your tonight is, I take it as this. I take it as like he says, you can play 10 times They might win 9, but tonight is that one time that we're going to win. And so I'm going to view it as every hard challenge that I face in my life. And recently I had an interview, and it was an interview for veterinary school, and obviously it's nerve-wracking for someone who's hopeful in that field because you want to get accepted somewhere, and the acceptance to vet school, for those who don't know, is not high. You know, it's not like, oh, you want to be a doctor for animals? Come join us. It's like, oh, okay, you have to, have it get pretty much going on in order to get to this point. And so I got to that point, and obviously, yeah, I'm proud of that, sure, but that's not my goal, right? My goal is to get in. So it's sort of nerve-wracking to, have that interview and talk to these different people. But I remembered, I remembered this movie, and I remembered feeling how these guys felt, nervous, knowing that I had performed well enough to get to this point. But now I gotta actually keep going and keep performing and keep my composure. And so what I did was, I remembered tonight is our night, and I thought about that. And I'm not lying. I'm not lying to just make this up. This is why I'm making this episode, is because this part reminded me of this part in the movie. It says tonight is our night. So I reminded myself that I could interview 10 times in a row, and if it's 9 times that I get flustered and I mess up and I say the wrong thing, it's not going to be this one, because this interview is my interview. And in my opinion, I did well. Obviously, we'll wait and see on that. But that attitude really carried me through because I kept my confidence high. I kept good eye contact. I made sure to, display all the things that made me a professional and very mature. And I kept that attitude because tonight, this interview was my interview. So that's how I'm translating this into something that you could take home. Let Kurt Russell's voice tell you, all right? Let him tell you. Tonight's your night. Whatever it is you have to do, okay? I don't care whether you have the most mundane thing in the world which you're not looking forward to, like go into the grocery store. Some people don't like grocery shopping because they're obvious. There could be a multitude of reasons. Hey, maybe you're nervous about going in public. Maybe you just don't like the grocery store. There's too many people. Maybe you don't like having to be decisive. Whatever it is, take this time and say, you know what? The nine times out of 10 that can happen, but not today. Because if you let that happen today, you're gonna keep going down that path of, oh, next time, next time. There is no next time. If you listen to the last episode, there is no tomorrow. Okay, remember that. Oh my gosh, what a crossover episode! Apollo Creed and Kurt Russell's version of Herb Brooks in a room together? Nah, 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 nah. I don't think you understand. I would fangirl so hard. But anyways, that's off topic. What we have here is a little piece of info that I want you to take home. And I got on this grocery shopping thing, which I don't know why. Hey, I worked at Kroger for a couple months. Um, maybe that's why. Maybe I'm digging for my old roots. But just remind yourself that tonight is our night. So whether it's grocery shopping, whether you got an interview, whether you have daily work that you got to do, you go to your shift at work and you're not looking forward to it, let it be, the rest of the week that's happened already. That could have already happened. But today is a different day, okay? So make today your day and make the most of this opportunity. And I think that is an important thing to keep forward, especially if you want to keep yourself motivated, because you have to have that end goal picture, right? You have to have yourself pretty much on a poster on your wall. At least I do in my head. I have a poster of myself that says, this title, this title. This is what he did. This is what he did for others. So if you can have that image and you could say to yourself, okay, 9 times out of 10 in each of these scenarios, I might have gotten my butt kicked. But this one time, that's all I need. I just need one time and I achieved my goals. Because at the end of the day, if you do it 1 time out of 10, and that's the only time that counts, who cares about the other 9? I certainly don't. I've failed so many times in my life. Oh my God. Don't even get me started, okay? I failed at menial tasks, things that I thought were going to be easy. But you know what? I got humbled, I learned, and I kept going. And I'm obviously still doing that to this day, and I'm guarantee I'm going to do that again. But you know what? I have the attitude that Herb Brooks was giving his team. That 9 times out of 10, the world might win, but not tonight. Tonight's my night. So, dying. But yeah, that's just the message I want to instill in others tonight. Take this piece, let it light your fire, and help you remember tonight is your night, okay? And let me just, I think I'm going to find the clip real quick. The end of his speech was just, oh yeah, it's my favorite.
And that's what you have here.
Let's see if I can find it.
Tonight.
Here we go.
Tonight, we skate with them.
Maybe this might be it.
Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can.
Oh yeah, baby, because we can.
Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world.
Oh, come on, with the trumpets going on, like you can't tell me this isn't getting you up out of your seats at this point in the movie.
Every one of you.
Now, I think this, are we getting close to it?
You were meant to be here.
All right, just follow
tonight.
along. We're getting there. It's a build-up.
This is your time.
That's still the message. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Come on, Herb. Come on, Herb.
Time is done.
Yep.
It's over.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Screw them. This is your time.
Yep, okay, so that's the point right there. There was I miscalculated the video. It was a little bit longer than I thought. You stuck with me, and that's all that mattered. The ending of that speech, I'm telling you right now, if I was on the men's hockey team for the United States of America in the Olympics in 1980, and I was in this room with Herb Brooks, I would have gotten up on my skates and bulldozed the door to go play some people who I've never met before. You know, I don't understand how you can't listen to this and then say, I don't know, I'm not that motivated. You know what? I am. So let's go get that. Let's go get that W. But yeah, that's just, I wanted to break that down this week because I had a real life example for it, and I had I think a pretty good connection of how you can take that out of your day and say, okay, usually this kicks my butt, but today, not today, okay? And yeah, just remind yourself why you started, why you're here, and let it light your fire. Why you want to keep moving forward, and why you're motivated. So this was episode 4, I believe, and I'll try my very hardest to be back next week. Obviously, no promises since I've failed so many times before. But hey, we live and we learn. And yeah, just remember, I'm proud of you. Keep working hard. Keep your head down, pushing. And wherever you want to be, you'll get there. And 9 times out of 10, life can kick your butt. But not tonight. This is your time. Okay? I'm rooting for you.